Welcome to the shoulder blade and neck strengthening and stretch flow video. If you have a couple pillows to use for this exercise, that may come in handy. So go ahead and pause and grab those now if you need to. And then let's get ready. So you can start out kneeling, sitting, standing, however you feel comfortable. And just take a couple deep breaths. And whether you're feeling good or experiencing some pain, just try to give that to God now. And just try to be present and focused on your exercise and your posture and form. So try to get your shoulder blades down and back. Your neck should be in a nice neutral position, not forward or back, not up or down. And we're gonna start with lifting our arms up and down while still keeping those shoulder blades down and back. So just going to about 90 degrees. And if it's awkward with two arms, you can do one arm at a time. It's okay if you come out a little, but try to mostly stay forward. And if you are out of shape and using good form, you might already be feeling a little bit, but hopefully you're feeling it in the back of your shoulder blades, in between your shoulder blades and under your shoulder blades. You might be feeling a little bit also through this musculature, but hopefully not up in your neck or what elevates your shoulders. Let's just do a few more. Also, as you breathe out, bring that belly button towards your spine. Whether you're sitting, kneeling, or standing, try to keep that belly button to spine. Okay. Next one, we're going to be going out to the side. So like you're doing a jumping jack or making a snow angel, but again, we're just going to go to 90 degrees. Now, eventually you could add some light weights or like hold canned goods and work on this. But I would definitely make sure that you've got the form down and that you're able to keep all of that posture looking good before trying to add any weight. And if you do decide to add some weight, you have to be extra cognizant that you're not hiking your shoulders up. It can especially be hard to keep good form with this one. So what you may consider doing is watching yourself in a mirror and just doing one arm at a time so you can really focus and make sure that you don't see those muscles getting all tense there. Okay, next one. This one should be easier. You're just gonna go out and in. But even though it's an easier one because you're not holding even the weight of your arms, you still really wanna make sure your shoulder blades are down and back, belly button to spine. We're rotating. This is a really good rotator cuff one because we're rotating that shoulder. And we're breathing. So this one too, if you feel like you want to make it a little harder, but we're not obviously adding weights yet, you can lie down on your side. You could have a pillow or no pillow. And go against gravity one arm at a time. And again, squeezing that shoulder blade down and back. So you could obviously add a light weight here, or if you have an exercise band, you could also pull that apart here. I'm gonna do a few on the other side to kind of even myself out. And if you're laying down on your side too, like I could tell my neck was forward, make sure you're keeping your spine in alignment. Nice neutral spine, belly button spine. Okay. So now that we've gotten all of our muscles warmed up, let's do some gentle jumping jacks. Ready? Let's do 10. But while we do them, belly button to spine, shoulder blades down and back, and make sure you're on the balls of your feet, okay? No flat feet there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Okay, so now we're gonna go opposite arm, opposite leg. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. So now let's do a couple stretches. All right, so bring that ear towards down towards your shoulder. Feeling a good stretch, letting gravity just kind of pull your arm and your shoulder down. Trying not to rotate your neck, just straight down to the side. And you could do this in standing or sitting, but I just feel like the better I'm able to relax, the better I can get a good stretch. Go ahead and switch sides. Okay, let's do a couple shoulder rolls. Reach your arms out a little bit. Fingertips kind of tapping the floor, and rotate your neck now. So you're trying to look over your shoulder. So you don't want your neck to come forward or backward. Straight to the side, deep breath in. And on out, try to go a little farther if you can. You should not be pushing through any pain here. So if any of these are causing pain, then this video is just really not for you. I mean, muscle work is good, but it shouldn't be pain. Other side. Farther if you can. Good, and back to the center. Okay, next one, we're gonna do, you can either go on your balls of your feet and your hands, which will be a little easier for movement, but also a lot more work. And I am really not in shape, so I am going to go on my knees, belly button to spine. And what we're gonna do is walk out with our hands and then back in the center. So side, center. And make sure you squeeze those shoulder blades down and back. Don't let your neck do anything funky. Keep your chin up towards the ceiling. Not up that way. Sorry, like tuck it. A cervical retraction, which if you've done my other video on for the neck pain, then you know what I'm talking about. Keep breathing. If it feels like it's going okay and you want to try the toes, you can, but you got to make sure that you have really enough core strength that you're holding good form. And I can tell like my shoulder blades want to wing when I'm doing that. So I'm going to stop there, but you can definitely work up to that. Just really make sure you're using good form. Don't go too fast. Okay, so after that, I think we deserve a nice child's pose stretch. You might feel it through your ankles, definitely feel it through your back. Let your neck relax. Breathe. And then if it feels like you need it, go ahead and gently walk your hands, slide your hands out to the side to get a little bit more of like a lat stretch and a side bending stretch. Good, and gently back to the center and out to the other side. Good, back to the center and slowly up. Excuse me. Okay, next let's go onto all fours. Again, belly button up to spine. Try to get your spine in a nice straight line as if you had a stick on your back that you had to hold in place. And we're going to tuck those shoulder blades down and back like they're trying to go into your back pockets, and then lift your arms upward. One at a time, slowly. And you might not get very far. I mean, like my motion, especially to hold good form, if I tried to go up more, I can tell I'd be arching my back. So you have to feel what your body is going to allow you to do while holding good form. And then if you feel like you want to get a little more core work out of it, you can do opposite arm, opposite leg, but do not forget to keep that shoulder blade tucked down and back and your belly button to spine. Keep breathing. These should be very slow and using really good form. These are not meant to be fast. You can even, if it feels like you're ready for it, you can hold the position at the top, but just really check in. What's your neck doing? Keep your shoulder blade down and back, belly button to spine, tighten your glute muscle. Because again, if your leg is going up too high, you're going to be arching your back. So that's not what we want here. We want the spine to be as straight as possible. I'm going to do one more holding on the other side, and then call that good for this. You can also get kind of a calf stretch if you bring your toes towards your calf, flexing your foot. And that kind of helps hold your legs steady as well. Okay, if it feels good, you can do a cat-cow stretch, up like a rainbow, down like a smile. Good. The next one, you will want your pillows. You don't have to have the pillows, but they're going to be helpful if you want to do two arms at the same time. So down onto your belly and see what feels good for your back. If you need a pillow under your actual stomach, or if you just need them under your chest, get in a comfortable position so that you can lift your arms without hurting yourself. Okay, it's really important for these that your neck's not up like you're looking up. You want your neck in a neutral position. You can gently tuck that chin like that cervical retraction that I had mentioned, so for those of you who aren't familiar with that, basically when you want to tuck your chin back, when I say tuck your chin, I'm not talking down. We're not flexing our necks here. We're going straight back, which is basically an exaggeration of good posture. So good posture is in a nice neutral position, but a lot of people tend to get a forward head. So you want to tuck it back to really open up those joint spaces in the back of your neck. Okay, so we've got that going for our neck. Our belly button can be relaxed here. We don't really need to contract our core muscles, but use pillows as needed. Squeeze those shoulder blades down and back. And then let's start by having our arms straight back, and we're just reaching up toward the ceiling with our hands and down. So squeezing the shoulder blades, and we're gonna feel our triceps turning on for some shoulder extension here. Don't lose the form with your neck, and keep breathing. Now again, this doesn't have to be a big motion, and eventually you may want to add some weights, but for now, just really focus on the form. Now if you don't have the pillows, or if this just feels awkward, or like you don't know if you're doing the form right, then go ahead and just try it with one arm. And what I would recommend doing is turning your head the opposite way of the arm that's working, and do it with the one arm then. Okay, so that's another option. All right, now the next one, and you could work your way up to like 3 sets of 10 with that too. I definitely wouldn't do more than 3 sets of 15, and just really focus on the form, and you can alternate exercises too if you want to work on those. Okay, so like this would be another one you could alternate sets with. So you're going to be on your bellies, and make a T with your arms. Squeeze those shoulder blades down and back, get that cervical retraction, and let's go thumbs up. Now this, again, it shouldn't be a huge motion. We're opening up our chest a little bit, and we're really working those shoulder blades. Now, make sure that you don't feel those muscles going up to your neck turning on. Really focus on keeping your shoulder blades down and back so that the proper muscles are doing the work here. Okay, now again, you can add on sets, and you could go palms down and do some that way, and you can even do thumbs down and do some that way. So I don't want to overdo it the first time that you do this video, but you can definitely pause the video and do some sets each of those ways. But if you aren't used to these, you might feel it in your shoulder blades already, so let's not overdo it, okay? We could also work into going up here, but again, that's harder, so we're not gonna do that yet. All right, we are gonna try one more, and again, this doesn't have to be a big motion, but it's gonna add that rotation in. So try to lift your elbows so that they're kind of hovering off the ground, squeezing your shoulder blade down and back, and then we're just getting a rotation like a knock and up. Now, if you get any clicking in your joints, that's okay as long as it's not hurting. But take a minute to check in with your neck, make sure that you're doing that cervical retraction. Okay. Shoulder blades squeezing down and back, and you shouldn't be getting any pain in your low back. You can have a natural curve there, or decrease the curve by moving your pillows down if you need to. Okay? All right. Next, let's stretch after all that muscle work. So go ahead and sit up. Do just some gentle shoulder rolls to get a couple easy movements. And reach wide, open wide, and then give yourself a big hug. We're just gonna do an arm across the body. So you should get a stretch through your arm, but also kind of, you can either grab up to your shoulder or you can hold your arm, but allow yourself to protract forward, meaning sticking forward with that shoulder blade to try to get a stretch behind the shoulder blade. So you can kind of play with the angle a little bit. And you're allowed to use poor posture at this one. Look at that. Stretch it out. Okay, reach back, open up the chest again, and now go ahead and hug the other arm. And find that position that feels like you're getting a good stretch across your arm and behind your shoulder blade, in between your shoulder blade. That can be a really hard area to stretch, especially if you're very tight. So just do your best. Okay, so if you're unsure, that may be enough for you today. I am going to offer a couple last, really just one last exercise and then some stretching. So, almost done. Bear with me if you're feeling good. All right, so we're just gonna do a couple knee push-ups. Obviously, you can work your way up to full push-ups if you get to that point, but let's have our arms our hands nice and wide. Find that good position for our spine, belly button to spine, straight back. You should not be curving. Okay, nice straight back. It might be a little bit hard to tell on the angle of the camera, but okay, belly button to spine. Cervical retraction with your neck. Breathe. Up and down. Really very mindful, not fast. Make sure that those shoulder blades are not winging up. Squeeze them down and back. Now, if that's way too much, you could also just practice the form against the wall just to get that form down. And you could work your way then to like a countertop and then eventually to the floor. And even when you get to the floor, we don't have to go all the way down here. So really focus on form, and you could always go halfway, okay? If you're feeling good, let's try 3 more. Don't lose form. I can tell I'm shaking, but I'm gonna get the last one. Breathe through it. Okay. Whew. I need to do this video a few times myself. A few times a week. A couple times a week at least. Okay. Feels good though. I'm getting my muscles working. I'm not in pain. Just working them. So hopefully you feel the same way. Okay, so 2 more stretches then. This one we did on the neck pain video as well because it's so good to get the stretch between your shoulder blades. So pick an arm and you're gonna kind of wrap your arms, and you can either push just to get a good stretch between your shoulder blades there, and that might be enough, or you can play with the angle, reaching up. You can bow your head down a little bit, flexing your neck. Whatever feels like a good stretch. As long as you're doing it slowly and deliberately, you won't hurt yourself. Gently take apart your arms and switch the arm that was on top. And relax. Okay, now if you feel like you're going to be sore, you may want to do all of the neck stretches again, but I'm just going to gently go to each side for just a few seconds so that I can wrap up the video, but definitely listen to your body, and if you need to do a few extra stretches, do it. Okay, last one, I'm going to look down towards my armpit, and if it feels good, you can gently reach on the top of your head and pull down to get some extra stretch, and you can also take your opposite arm and reach out there. So again, just kind of listen to what your neck tells you it needs, and do the stretch that you need. So thanks for doing this with me, and keep on strengthening. Thank you, God, for all the strength that you have given us, and please help us to work towards increasing our emotional and mental strength as well as our physical strength. Thank you for this time. Amen.